Chapter 15, The Entrance. "Abby!" Carla screamed. Her heart lurched at the sight of her dog trapped. Abby barked, looking helplessly at Carla and her parents. Wait, thought Carla. Why did she bark? Her dad didn't look surprised. I'm sure the cage is cast iron, removing any magical abilities Abby has. It's why I haven't been able to communicate with her. It's why she hasn't freed herself. In that cage, she's just an average golden retriever. And to be honest, goldens aren't always the brightest bulb in the box. Hey, Carla cried, defending Abby. Trust me, you never met her before she was a familiar and learned magic with me. It's a type of imbuing, actually. I can teach you. Carla waved him off. Okay, I get it. She couldn't be having this conversation. She had to focus on holding up this cast iron. She began to shoot it toward the vine legs one at a time, but it was losing effort. Every time she got one leg to quit swirling and crawling and winding and moved her attention to the next, the one she just took out started up again. It's no use, she cried. Help! Other witches were beginning to hover cast iron of their own, but before they could get started, Esmeralda's voice rang out again. Carla scanned the front of the factory and the yard around. The witch was nowhere in sight. It's no use, hollered the disembodied evil voice. Just give up. I am Esmeralda, the great, the powerful. At the sound of Esmeralda's voice, the vine and cage creature stopped, the vines wrapping all around the cage. It remained quietly off to the side of the entrance. Carla could hear Abby whining inside. If you're so powerful, come out, Carla shouted. She was ready to get the defeat of Esmeralda done and over with so she could free her dog. And then Esmeralda did appear, and it was every bit as scary as Carla imagined. She came out behind the vine creature in a black cloud that surrounded her, furling and changing shape behind her in waves. Her eyes were bright, her face set in a determined line, and she glared at all the witches on her lawn. It's not too late to join my side, she said, addressing everyone but Carla and her parents. We would never, one of the witches called. The cooking club doesn't associate with the likes of you, yelled their leader, Joanne. Carla smiled. Yet another friend made of an enemy. An uncomfortable thought crept up, and she looked around again. Gwen was still nowhere in sight. Had Nancy been right that Carla should forgive her? And why wasn't Carla capable of that if she had forgiven Nancy? Nancy's mother, and Joanne, and her club. She was being hypocritical. Esmeralda's response broke into her thoughts. Never mind, then. If that's the case, I'm happy to proceed as planned. Come on inside. I've created a magical obstacle course for you. If you all survive it, I will step down. It includes the standard witchling tests and a few others. I believe any truly great witch will pass with flying colors. She smiled at them, lips curling in an evil, smug way. It has to be a trap, her mom hissed from beside her. Trap or no, we have to try, her dad said. We've trained as best we can. We have to believe the forces of good in the universe are on our side. The three of them stepped forward, leading by example. Not so fast, Esmeralda said. It's the witchling test, after all. Only the witchlings get to come. Her mom cried out and ran forward, screaming, That's unfair! Her dad grabbed her mom's arms to stop her. Selena, he snapped, sharper than Carla had ever heard. It cut through her mom's outburst. She stopped fighting and stood still, staring up into the March sun, jaw clenched, tears forming in her eyes. Selena, you have to trust that you've taught your child to survive. Her mom dragged her gaze down to Carla. She gulped, then nodded at her. I believe that you can survive. Carla nodded back. I know I can. As touching as all this is, it's time we get started. I noticed, Carla, that you're the only witchling who's shown up today. Interesting how all these older witches came to fight me, yet they forgot that it was the witchling test and didn't even bring their own daughters. Carla looked back. There were younger witches, but nobody else was there to be tested. When Carla thought about it, the only witch her age she'd ever seen was Gwen. Oh, you are a problem solver, Esmeralda noted gleefully. You're seeing that you and Gwen were the only witches of age this year. She has chosen to not complete this year. She wants a bigger challenge and a testing session with more witches. There was never going to be anybody here to assist you. Carla clenched her fists and stepped forward. Doesn't matter, she said, pretending to be nonchalant. I'll pass your tests, all of them. Her voice sounded more confident than she felt. And then she heard Nancy's voice yell, On 3, ladies. 1, 2, 3. And then, from behind her came a volley of salty cupcakes thrown by the mortal woman with no magic needed, splattering everywhere. One landed smack into Esmeralda's face. One of the witches cried out, This is crap. You shouldn't have called us all here only to pull this bait and switch. You said you wanted a fair fight, and that's not fair. Another witch, apparently one who'd been imprisoned by Esmeralda, also cried out, I'm here for revenge. I will have my chance. Esmeralda waved a hand, and the cupcake frosting and crumbs disappeared from her face, hair, and robes. Esmeralda continued grinning in her cunning way. Carla got the feeling she'd been planning this exact takeover for years. Well, all that meant was that Carla had to show her it wasn't going to work. She stepped forward. "I'm ready. None of your underhanded plans matter. I will get revenge for my mother and all the witches you trapped, and I will stop you from making a power play that goes against everything witches stand for." "Be my guest." Esmeralda stood off to the side of the entrance and held out a hand in welcome. Abby whined from behind the vines as Carla took to the stairs and entered the cast iron factory, ready to take on whatever awaited her. Her witch boots clacked on the stone steps. The wind billowed her witch cloak. She was just about to cross the threshold when she heard someone yell, "Wait!" It was Gwen. Carla turned. She caught Esmeralda's eyes, which widened in shock. The witches on the lawn parted, and Gwen came through the crowd. Behind her, a group of about 20 men in billowing robes with long beards, holding staffs, and accompanied by their own dog familiars, walked across the lawn. Now Carla knew where Gwen had been. Not where Esmeralda thought she'd hidden her away, but off bringing the help of wizards.